Alright, how we doing guys? Dino here from Fundamental Guitar. In this lesson I'm going to be showing you how to play Warning Sign by Coldplay. Got standard tuning for this one guys, 4/4 timing. Capo's on the first fret there just to play in key with the original recording. Gonna have a listen to how it sounds as always, so we can just refresh our minds with the melody and the rhythm together, and then we'll go into a breakdown. We've got the chords and the song structure in the description as always guys, definitely have a look at that. So let's have a listen, going in from the verse. Warning sign, I missed the good part, then I realized I started looking in the bubble burst. I started looking for excuses. Come on in, I've got to tell you what a state I'm in. I've got to tell you in my loudest tones. I started looking for a warning sign. To the chorus. The truth is, I miss you. Yeah, the truth is that I miss you. Okay, there we go. That's your verse, guys, going into the chorus, and then there's like a little musical interlude before it goes into the next verse there. Okay, so let's start breaking it down. I'm not going to go into a close-up for this one, guys, because to be honest, the chords aren't that drastic. There's no crazy. I mean, the tune is standard, the time is standard. It's pretty straightforward song, to be honest, and we should know most of these chords. Okay. If you struggle with any of them, check the description because the tabs are there. For the verse, we want G, D, A, E sus4, and E. Okay, so the chords are pretty straightforward there. E sus4 you may not be familiar with. With E sus4, sorry, all you're going to do is take the shape that you play for A and just lift the fingers up a string each, and that's basically E sus4. Okay. We'll have a look at it in a little bit more detail in a minute, but what we want to do now is look at the timing. Okay, so we're going to start with the bare bones of the timing. Okay, so if you look in the description, you'll see you can have two chords inside a bar, so it's a split bar, guys, and we're playing in 4/4. So what we want to know is how many beats are we giving to each chord. Well, we're going to give 2 beats for each chord. Okay, so for G you're going to 1, 2, and then you're going to go to D for 3, 4, and then the same thing for A, 1, 2, and E sus4 for 2 beats. Okay, that's the bare bones of it. All right. Once you kind of got that down, then you can, or we can tweak it a little bit. And what we're going to do first is we're going to apply a push to each of those chord changes. Okay, so instead of changing to the D on the 3rd beat, we're going to change half a beat early. Okay, you may have heard me talk about this in other lessons. It's such a nice, really simple but really effective a technique, or way of altering the sound of a chord change or part of an arrangement of a song to just make it have a nice feel to it, and it kind of matches the melody. You would always find normally it matches the melody, so when you don't fit the push in, it's not going to sound great or as good as when you're singing or playing along with the recording. Anyway, let's get to it. So I said we're changing chord on the and of the 2, so we're going to have is 1, 2, and 3, 4, and same thing again, 1, 2, and 3, 4. Okay, so you can hear the changes coming on the and. Let me do it slowly. 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3. A little bit faster. Okay, and now the only thing missing there is the E. Okay, so now the E, so the second bar there, where we go from E sus4 to E, is going to be well, from A to E sus4, sorry, and then to E is a split bar with 3 chords in there. So we're going to have A for the 1 and 2, and then on the and we change to the E sus4, and the E is going to come in on the 4th beat. Okay, so we're going to get 1, 2 and 3, 4 for your E. 1, 2 and 3, 4 when your E comes in. Okay, one more time. 1, 2 and 3, 4 is on your E. Now a bit faster. 2 and 3, 4. 1, 2 and 3, 4. Okay, so now you've got all the time in there, guys. And the reason I kind of broke it down in this fashion is, in my personal opinion, for learning rhythm guitar, timing is like the foundation. It's one of the most fundamental principles of music in general. If you're playing as part of an ensemble, in a band or wherever, you know, everyone's governed by the time signature, and you know, with the chords changing and all that kind of stuff, understanding bars and beats is going to really be helpful for you guys to understanding and moving forward and learning. So that's why I sort of apply that. I don't just say these chords and then when he sings this, change to that chord, because the melody's always changing, and sometimes you're playing, you know, you're not really focusing on the melody. You know, you're playing your part, which is the musical part, and you just need to understand the bars and beats and where the changes fall with regards to the timing. Okay, so anyway, enough talk. Let's move on to the chorus. So that progression is going to be repeated all the way through your verses, and then at the end, when you finish off on your A to E sus 4 to E, there's just an extra bar of E. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's where you're going to chorus. Okay, so we want D. Okay, and now each chord's hold for a bar. It's going to go to F sharp minor, which is going to go to A, and then to E. Okay, it's a pretty simple progression there, and as I said, each chord's hold for a bar, so we want an 8-bar chorus. To this, miss you. Okay, so that's your 4 bars, and that repeats again. Then you go to that musical interlude, which is just basically the same as what we played in the verse. So that's 2 bars. We've got 2 more bars to get you that little line of musical interlude, and then it goes back into verse, which is the same as what we did before, and then the chorus is the same as well, although there's just an extended little bit at the end of it. You'll see it in the song structure. You're going to basically want to play a G major 7 to F sharp minor 7, and then A to E, and then there's an extra bar of E. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're going to go into our middle 8. Okay, so the middle 8, we want A. Everything's held for a bar here again, guys. We want after A, E minor 7 / A, go into G and D major 7. Okay, so A shouldn't have a problem. Transition from the A to the E minor 7 / A. That 3rd finger is going to come off. So now we've got the open G in there, and then the pinky's going to move up a fret. Okay, so that's playing the D now, which is the flat 7, and we're playing from the 5th string, which is the open A relative to the capo. So it's an E minor 7 / A for a bar, and then G for a bar, and then D major 7. Just want to bar first 3 strings and the 2nd fret. Okay, you can play it from the 4th string, the D string, that'll be the root note, or what sounds nice as well, if you can get your thumb to play the F sharp in the bass, and use the thumb to mute the A string, then that sounds a little bit nicer, the progression, the bass movement. If you play the D major 7 / F sharp, or just the D major 7, sounds fine as well. Okay, so each chord's repeated for a bar, and it's going to be for 8 bars. That's a middle 8's musical, and then it's the same chords for the outro, which is back into your open arms. And again, it's a crawl back into your open arms. Okay, so that happens. It's basically gonna be 4 lines. Okay, so each line is 4 bars. And the 4th time round, we're going to basically play, let me just sing it, so crawl back into your open arms. That's the end of the song. So basically A, E minor 7, stays on E minor 7, doesn't go to G, and it doesn't go to D major 7, goes to F sharp minor, and that's how they end the song. Okay, so there's enough in there, guys, for you to learn it. Remember, the tabs, the song structure are in the description. It's definitely going to help you to have the song structure in front of you. Play along with the recording. If you've got any questions, as always, guys, give me a shout, and hopefully I shall see you again soon. Take care.